Page 121, Ragtime Rondino. This is based on the melody on page 120. So if you take the right hand here and you just turn everything into eighth notes and get rid of the tied notes, get rid of the second eighth note on you see it's the same pretty much, not exactly, but it's the same, so it's based on it. But we got these rhythms to quarter notes and eighth notes and so forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see, it's in 4/4 time, not 3/4, so already that's different. Second measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and scrunch up. And again, if those ties are causing you problems, then take out the tie and play all the notes. Second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and. So you can get that, and then once you're comfortable with that, put the tie back in. You just hang on to that note for one extra half count, and you've got it. Third line down, you're back down. This rhythm is all over the place. Now watch the last two measures here on third line. It's here, 1 and. Now scrunch up and get the little finger on the A. See, before we were here and crossed over. You can do that here too. You don't have to scrunch up and do that. You can just stay there and cross over like you did on the previous page. So that works fine. The last measure in the first line is they want fifth finger on that D. You don't have to because you've been in this position. You can play second finger on that D and cross over. It's the same fingering we used on page 120 if you look at the last measure of that first line. Same thing. I don't know why they're changing the fingering here because I like the fingering on 120 better. I'd rather just cross over. To me, that's easier than scrunching up. I got rather large hands. If your hands are small, then you don't. There's times you have to. We don't have to here. So it's up to you. Left hand is broken chords. Now I recommend here rather than fifth finger, fourth finger, and 2-1. The idea is we came off of this note in the first measure. And it's just easier for me to use fourth here because it's closer rather than fifth. Again, it's a personal thing, but I'm going to use fourth finger in that second measure on the first one. So the first two measures. And then again, the last measure is fourth. Anywhere else I get that. Anywhere else I get the same pattern. I'm going to use fourth finger on the D. Let's go down to the third line. Now it's these. Try and play these as legato as you can. For now, I might change it later, but right now. And the end of the third line, look out. 1 and 2 and 3. They're doing that so you're in position for the chord here. So that's why they're doing it. Because if you did a 1, you're out of place. So the fingering is good at the end of the line. And then for the last line, the first chord is 1-3 or 5-3-1, and then you can go 5-2-1. After that, put the hands together. Third line down, it's here. Hold that D down, and then you can lift up. Connect the left hand, but lift up in the right. So forth. At the bottom of the page in the last measure, look out. Because you're here. That is a dotted half note. It comes up on beat 4. On beat 4 here is where you play the E. That's on beat 4. So the left hand or the right hand comes up when you play that E. So it's here. Right there. Try and be accurate with these, how long you hold these notes down as best you can. Phrasing wise, there's no accents that I can tell, but the phrasing, it's mostly in the right hand. Lift that up, but keep the left hand fairly legato. At the end of the first line in the left hand, when you have that slur, connect that to the C in the next line. Connect that all together. Don't lift up after it. Lead into it. Same thing at the bottom. When you go back to the top, connect the D and the C. As far as the left hand goes, you can't separate these. This is a ragtime type feel. Then you got legato in one hand and this mess in the left hand. Can you do that? See, it gives it more of a ragtime feel. Speed-wise, it says it's allegro. Now, not all ragtime music is fast. They saying this is how fast? Well, how fast can you be accurate? That's it. Don't go beyond that. And the third line, just now they're not connected here. Just separate them. If you're the kind of person who has to, everything's got to be exact and math has got to be there. See, playing music is a lot of feel. But when you get down here in the third line on these chords and you're separating them, and you're wondering, well, how long should I hold it? Is it half a beat, 3/4 of a beat? How long? I'm holding it about equal to an eighth note. So it'd be like an eighth note and an eighth rest on each of these, about here. If you want to get mathematical about it. Otherwise, I would say just feel it. And we do play these eighth notes evenly. We don't swing them. So play them evenly. It's good. Keep it soft in the left hand. We want to hear the right hand though. That's my impression of this. You'll have to decide on what your allegro is and how fast you care to go. I would like to play this together with slowly, to double check the notes and the rhythms, not doing dynamics. They didn't give you a lot of dynamics. You can experiment. The dynamics go to the right hand. That's what we want to hear. Keep the left hand soft in the background, if you can. But you're either loud or moderately loud. You can see where they are and do that yourself. You'll have to do that. It's like the first two lines are moderately loud. You don't have to do it exactly moderately loud. You can get louder and softer as you feel it. It's an interpretive thing. It's okay. I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try it together slowly. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1 and 2 and... Repeat. off.